Hello, a number of you asked me to check out the new Builder brand from Jazzwares. Jazzwares is the company. They've been making toys for quite a while, and they're trying out Lego-compatible brick-built stuff. And so here we are. I got one. Under the Sanrio license, this is Hello Kitty's Dream Cafe. It cost me $30 US and comes with 354 pieces. This has 3 characters, and I will show you those up close in a minute, but first I want to focus on the build. There's the main building and then just a small side build that has a street lamp and the menu down at the base of it, which is the same on both sides. This does not have any stickers, so anything that looks like it's decorated up is done with prints. The prints generally look nice. And of course, a lot of people want to ask immediately, what about the part quality? What about how it goes together? Does it stay together? Does it fall apart immediately? Because I've heard that anything that isn't the leading brand is going to fall apart immediately and is completely unusable. No, that's not the case. The parts are fine. The parts are just fine. They're maybe not on par with the leading brand, but they're definitely fine. I really didn't have a problem with it. Maybe the slightest bit of difference in some of the white pieces, depending upon which particular resin mix was used for the parts. But yeah, the quality just generally wasn't a major issue for me. I do notice that the 2 halves here don't come together 100% right there, right now. That could be something related to a slight mold variation in one of the hinge pieces, but I think part of it is just the overall design of this, because it's very, very open, as you can obviously see. And when you don't have things to support, sometimes the warping of plates causes things to be pushed apart. But again, to me, it just didn't feel like any serious issue. The prints, again, are pretty good. One thing I did not like about the design of this at all is that the windows get completely covered up. So you can't see in all these cute details. Obviously, it's completely open around the back, but all these cute interior details cannot be seen from the outside until you turn around and essentially are looking at the inside of the building, where imagination-wise, we've cut through this. Now with the hinges, you can open this up. You can do one side at a time, like just open it part way like that, bring it all the way out, start to swing these the other way entirely, which is a little bit awkward, I suppose, but it's doable. But it is nice to have a little bit more access, and this kind of makes the place feel larger, and it makes it feel more like a genuine open dollhouse experience than this, which is feeling just a little bit cramped, I think, from the sides. Of course, you can put figures. Even this big old one can fit behind the counter right there. Interestingly, the figures are not really designed with the ability to bend their legs or anything, and we'll look at that more closely. So, you have seats, but you can't really sit in them. You can just stand at them, which, I guess is fine enough, but it is a little bit awkward. Would have been nice to have an option there, but the level of detail is good. Again, the prints are good. There's even something underneath the counter here. So if you can see, you've got a whole little display case down there. One thing is actually hanging from above, interestingly, and the register has its own print on it as well. You got the, sugar cookies on top with a nice unique print. And I've never seen this piece before. Looks like it's got a mini peg hole on the top. You could potentially put flowers or things there. And from the outside, when you open this up, it makes it look much larger. Makes the building look much larger. This is probably interesting for display, although probably a lot of people getting this would want to see the interior details, which again, you can't see from this side at all, no matter what you do. You can close these down, but that doesn't necessarily make it any better. That's the eyes, right, of the whole cat here, just closing down as if it is not open for business at this time. You can also open these little inner frames, but again, that doesn't really do anything. Sorry, fingers, big adult fingers, get in there and open. There we go. Doesn't really do anything because it's just white and blocked out behind. The buttons of the shirt here are done once again with the print. Little recognizable pieces for little square pieces for the topiaries. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the build. The figures left to right are Kitty herself. This is Pom Pom Purin. Forgive me if I pronounce that incorrectly. I'm not familiar with the IP. And this is Cinema Roll. One of these has an issue. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But first of all, the most important figure looks pretty good. I think the printing on the torso could be a little bit better, but it's not too bad. The printing, not dual molded with the arms. They're printed with the yellow color there. You can move the arms up and down. The head is actually on a ball joint, interestingly. So move the arm back out of the way. You get a little bit of left to right. You get a little bit of forward back, more forward back, and then you can also twist at the same time. Would have been nice to get even more articulation out of that. I feel like I'm getting greedy now. If you're going to have a ball joint there, let us use it a lot. Get a lot of expressiveness. It's better to have some than none, but yeah, in the future, maybe if they're able to do things like this, again, they'll be able to get just a little bit more out of it. Really good printing for the head itself. Around the back, the tail is actually molded in, has just a little bit of paint application to it. But right here, you can see an issue with these ears being separated. There's a production error with this one. I'm not going to go buy 10 of these kits and give you any sort of statistics about their consistency, their quality control, but obviously this one has a problem. I guess I'll try to contact customer support, see if I can get a replacement for it, but either that back half piece, which came pre-assembled, by the way, was mismolded, or the machine just slipped the part or something as it was putting it together. You can see stress marks all over this, little bits of white if you know what to look for. So something went wrong with that. And yeah, that one has an issue, and I don't know what to say about it other than it has an issue. If it didn't have that production issue, it would look pretty good, and you've just got the arms that are able to go up and down a little bit. No other articulation with that one. The hat is a separate piece, and Cinema Roll is just a single piece with just the print on the front. That's it. Got the little tail molded in the back. I feel like the figures are set up pretty well. Their overall designs look good and appropriate to what I've seen for reference material, but yeah, that's unfortunate, and we'll just have to see. Look at lots and lots of people's unsponsored reviews, actual buyer customer reviews, to see if that's a common issue. Since this is a new brand to me, I need to talk about the instructions, which are fine. They're not perfect. I wish that some of the angles had shown an alternate angle. There were just a couple places along the way where I wish they had shown it from a different view, just to kind of confirm how things. Oh yeah, like this right here, for example. Which anti-stud does that stud right there fit into? It actually goes in between one of the middle tubes, but they don't make that clear. Stuff like that. So there's just a couple spots where things could have been a little bit more clear. But overall, it's full color all the way through, so that's a good thing. And just generally, there aren't even that many pieces, so it's kind of hard to get it wrong. And they do have a handful of pieces that the leading brand does not, which really helped out with the just getting the design to work well without wasting too much space. Again, the retail price I paid was $30 US for 354 pieces, and I feel like the value for the amount of stuff here, especially, Sanrio, it's just generally really overpriced. I think their license must cost a pretty penny, but even without the license, I feel like just the amount of stuff here, and with the number of prints and everything, it feels fair by 2025 standards overall. I think that just from this first impression, I think the brand is off to a decent start. Again, their brick quality is fine. They've got some pieces that I haven't seen before, or that the leading brand at least doesn't have. Everything being printed is definitely good to see. I do wish that you could see through the windows, but compromises definitely would have been required there, because there's a window here, but you want to have those details. Those details are useful. Windows here and here, but I really do like these wallpaper, these common wallpaper pieces. We've got 3 of those. And then over here as well, you do want to have a menu. So they would have had to put those on separate pieces, would have had to add to the part count to allow the windows to work. I don't know. I personally still think it would have been worth it to allow the windows to work, maybe just trim things down a little bit if needed, to have something standing out in the middle of the floor to still have those additional details. This is definitely an issue, and we'll just have to see. Again, look for unsponsored reviews. I personally, just speaking to you directly now, as Jang, I don't trust companies at first, especially when they're new, and especially when they're pushing really hard to get influencers to pick up their products. They're saying, hey, we'll send you all that you want, because when that happens, when they send you review samples, they like that high production level stuff, they can really pick and choose and, check inside the box first to make sure that you get good stuff. So I would personally focus on real customer reviews and see what normal people get there. Look on Amazon, look on Target. I think Walmart covers these as well. Look at user and customer reviews to see what the quality control is like, and if anybody has had experiences with the customer service. Because obviously this is concerning. This is a problem. I will try to contact customer support if I can find time for it. But if that is just a fluke, if it's not a common thing, they're off to a decent start here, I personally think. Let me thank you for the suggestions to try out this brand, and let me know if there are any specific sets from this brand that you know of that you would like me to cover, to buy with my own money and cover for you. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.